Hi, Gil from Testing Gil here, and today I want to talk to you about test generation. I've seen test generation done for almost 20 years now. That's right, 20 years ago we were sitting in a cave and there was already a wizard that would show us how to make tests out of code. It wasn't a very smart wizard. Based on the signature of the method I would choose, it would create a method and a test name for it called, wait for it, something with test. If I'm lucky, it would also do something like create an instance of the method in the code and call the method. But other than that, I will need to add everything by myself. This type of test generation means two things. First, sometimes it may not even compile. Sometimes it would just fail. See? The other option, without the assumed failure, is that these tests will always pass. You know, that sounds cool, but every test without the assert will always pass. And we need to put asserts in. Hey kids, you want high test coverage? Write tests without asserts. Okay, these generated tests are not very good. Based on the result of the generated code, I'd probably write them myself from scratch. Also, test generation doesn't help with TDD, because test first, right? Okay, so that didn't change up until few years ago, especially in the unit testing world. Once we got into APIs, test generation needed to move on with the times. Now we could generate tests for APIs, with a few caveats. Again, instead of tests, we would have requests, and instead of generation, we would have record and replay. But the work around it didn't change, at least for me. I would still need to rename stuff and set up stuff. And the most important question, what makes the test actually pass? Is it just the return status, like a 200? Maybe it's the entire response body? Maybe it's part of the response body without the auto-generated IDs that the server puts in. Or maybe it was the headers. Once more, I need to step in and tell the test what I'm actually interested in. This would be either changes here and there, or sometimes writing everything from scratch. Then we moved into the UI age. Now we have tools that record what we're doing on the screen, locate elements, and generate the code for that. Sometimes even generate the asserts for me. See? It's like magic.
So is this good enough for you now, Gil?
Well, not exactly. You see, the tool can find the elements, but not the way I want it to find it. For example, it can find a text box by a placeholder. But is it the right way to find it? Why doesn't it find it by the label? Why do I have to do all the work by myself? Okay, let's talk about maintainability. These tests are very writable, but are they readable? Look at all those duplications. Okay, I can stop now. It's not that I don't like tools. I really do. But tools are built with a certain goal in mind. As users, sometimes we have more than one goal. So sure, we'd like to cut time on test writing. But also, when the tests fail, we need to actually read them and understand what they're trying to do. What test generators lack is context. For them, the whole world is the interface, they give it to you, and then you have to fill in everything by yourself. You need to build the right input and specify what the expected result is. Since test generators don't understand the application or the business context or even the human developer, they get stuck. Then they leave the rest of the work to the authors. That's us. It's not like we're not making progress. Some AI tools analyze the code and try to understand the probable scenario to put in a test for it. Their understanding is still limited to the code they analyze. It's easy to generate tests for small bits of code. Generating tests for big systems and understanding the big workflows is hard. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. Let's be real here. Understanding the application just from the code is hard. Which workflows are more important than others? Which are run more frequently? Which are run more rarely? You'll need a lot more context to create the right test. I'm going to remain a skeptic for a while. So I'm going to write my own tests. It's not like I'm not going to use these tools to get ahead. but to rely on them completely, not today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe to the channel, and in the comments below, tell me what kind of test generation tools you're using and what kind of way do you depend on them and when you stop relying on them. For now, thank you and bye-bye.